An empty nest journey. How about London, he asked. Yes, London will work. The moment had a now or never feel to it. We'd had the same conversation for 3 years. It was time to put up or shut up. Let me explain. When our last daughter left for college 4 years ago, my husband and I became empty nesters. After almost 30 years of marriage, I should have expected that we would react differently to this life-changing moment. My plan was simple. After being the on-call parent for 22 years, I planned to quit my job and enjoy a schedule that belonged to me. My husband, a man who will flat out tell you that he hates change, did the opposite. He hunkered down at work, and he worked and he worked. This really threw me for a loop. It wasn't as if I had quit my job on a whim. My husband was fully aware, and I wanted him to cut back too. We could afford it, and we'd talked about it. Where was my playmate? My soulmate? But as we traveled through year one of our empty nest, our only real trips were to see our aging parents, our daughters in North Carolina and California, and to our family beach condo at Fripp Island, South Carolina. It was at Fripp, on the porch overlooking our beloved ocean, that we spent many hours discussing travel abroad with no real plans in sight. As Rich continued to work long hours, I longed for our old connection and fondly remembered the early years of our marriage when money and time were in short supply. We hit the New England highways and back roads as many weekends as we could, hiking, staying in dive hotels, and exploring big and little towns, the mountains, and the coast. Someday, we said, we'll travel the world. We even saved our money and took a steamy and memorable August vacation to Antigua, which only fueled our passion. We couldn't wait to travel again and talked of that trip for many years. So where was my adventurous husband and our passion for travel? Now that we were empty nesters, we needed to have some adventures. But Rich loved his work and I was lonely. With time on my hands, I itched to travel and reminisced a lot about our family trips to places like theme parks and ski resorts. We even took one spectacular trip to Hawaii that reminded Rich and me of the exotic travel we hoped to do one day when we were empty nesters. But Fripp Island was the go-to for most summer vacations. We all loved it there, and it was the spot for family gatherings. And Rich loves that porch. But where's our wanderlust? Fripp spelled family, and we needed a couple's adventure. We needed help. Empty Nest Year 2 started as more of the same. With no exotic travel plans, I did some travel on my own and with friends. I missed my husband, but change was coming. To show his interest in travel, Rich got his first passport. I enrolled in the Baker University online MLA program. A few months later, Rich quit his consulting work. Seriously? Now that I was a new student and Rich was still lukewarm about travel abroad, talks of travel to exotic places stalled for almost a year. So it was back to Fripp for us. With year 3 of our empty nest drawing to a close, I knew that in 12 short months, our daughter would be a college graduate and her return to the nest for a planned gap year was lurking on the horizon. So last summer, on the porch at Fripp, Rich broached the now sticky subject of travel. Do you have any ideas for our vacation in August? Well, actually, until we've taken a trip out of the country, I said to my husband of 32 years, one thing I will not be doing is sitting on this porch at Fripp Island, but I will travel to the far ends of the earth with you. Anywhere you go, I will follow. Well, that's probably not quite how it went. How about London, he said. Yes, indeed, London will work. London would be lovely. Even with only 8 weeks to plan, we did it. England was perfect. Knowing the language made our first trip abroad so easy. In the end, I've come to realize that our empty nest struggles had more to do with needing time to adjust to the sadness we felt that our kids were gone. That portion of our parenting was over. I pushed for the far away and exotic to make new memories, and Rich dug in because he felt more comforted in the old. And though reconnecting was work, our 3-year persistence in reviving our shared passion paid off. We have great memories from our London trip that we talk of often on our porch at Fripp Island as we plan our next trip to celebrate my graduation and the return to our empty nest.